Good evening and welcome to Waconia High School for a Metro West Conference collision between the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles and the Wildcats of Waconia. It's the first ever installment of what is certain to be a new rivalry, and it's coming to you next on Prep Spotlight TV.
This Prep Spotlight.tv broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. It's a better way to watch. McDonald's owner-operators of Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Find your golden opportunity with flexible hours at mcdonalds.com/careers. Enjoy the game brought to you by ThinkBank. Meet your money. And check out the Star Tribune today for the latest prep news, scores, and so much more. By purchasing these game streams, you too are making live coverage of high school sports possible. All profits are shared with the home teams that are part of PrepSpotlight.tv's growing network.
As you can see, starting lineups are being announced. In the intro, we said that this is the first installment of what will be a good rivalry. That's because Waconia is new to the Metro West Conference this year, along with New Prague and Orono. The two teams we're seeing tonight are both off to a good start. Waconia is 5-4. They're in their first year in Class 4A. They've got wins over Apple Valley and Lakeville South, among others. Bloomington Kennedy is off to an impressive 8-2 start. They've got wins over Park Center and Farmington. Kennedy is 2-1 in the Metro West Conference. The Eagles are anchored by junior guard Ashley Burchett. She averages 17.6 points per game. Waconia is led by the dynamic duo of Ava Steer and Audrey Swanson. Both of them D2 athletes. We'll tell you more about that as the game progresses. Some keys to the game tonight. Who's going to control the tempo? Kennedy likes to play a slower-paced game. Waconia likes to score in the 60s and 70s. The other thing that we'll be looking at is fouls and depth. Waconia should have the advantage when it comes to depth, according to the coaches. Very quickly before the tip-off, let's meet the starting lineups. For Kennedy, number 2, Haley Williams, a 10th grader. Also starting at a guard, number 5, Ashley Burchett, the junior. Number 24, Daviyana Singleton-Buchanan, just a sophomore in the starting lineup. Also for Kennedy, number 32, Samara Buchanan, she's a senior. And number 33, sophomore Maya Green. Starting for the Wildcats, 0, Elena Kevney, a sophomore. Senior Grace Syme, number 11. Number 22, Audrey Swanson, a forward, is a senior. The tip goes to Kennedy. And Kennedy controls the ball out top. Ashley Burchett will set things up for the Kennedy offense. Rounding out the starters for Waconia, number 33, Ava Steer, a senior. And number 40, Kenzie Amundsen, a post for the Wildcats. Amundsen challenges that shot. Misses off the rim. Syme collects the rebound. She advances the ball up quickly. Steer has it in the paint. Up and good. The first basket goes to Waconia. I apologize, we've got the score bug wrong right now, but we'll get it caught up here in a moment. Burchett tries the three from the top of the key. Off the back of the rim, no good. Amundsen with the rebound. Swanson comes down on the fast break, and she's got the left-handed layup. And just like that, Waconia off to a quick 4-0 lead. Just 1 minute into the action here. Metro West Conference matchup. Burchett gives to Green. Back to Burchett. Green, the lefty, tries the three, and she's got it. Nice looking shot from sophomore Maya Green. Kevney setting up the offense for the Wildcats. Ball goes into the post to Steer. Ball is blocked out of bounds, and it'll be Wildcat ball underneath. Senior Grace Syme will throw in for the Wildcats. Steer comes right down the lane, powers it up, misses everything, and the rebound goes to Green. Green advances the ball through traffic, lost the handle. And now the Eagles will settle down, and Burchett takes it up top, putting some moves on Swanson there. Haley Williams banks in a three from long range. Kevney up the right side to Syme. Syme into Steer. Steer up quickly. Quick 2 points there for the Wildcats to tie it at 6. And we see that contrast in tempo. We see the Eagles walking the ball up the floor, but every time the Wildcats have gotten possession, they are flying down the floor in transition. Contrasting styles. We'll see who can dictate the tempo. Syme guarding Burchett. Burchett drives, partially blocked by Amundsen, but she also got a piece of Burchett's arm, and that'll be the first foul of the game.
Foul is on Amundsen.
2.5 minutes into the game here. Teams are tied at 6 as Burchett steps to the line. She's the far and away the leading scorer for the Eagles, averaging over 17 points a game. That one is nothing but net. The next leading scorer for Kennedy, averaging just 6 points a game. However, they have 5 or 6 different players that have scored in double figures so far this season, so they are not a one-person show. Burchett is the most consistent scorer as that one rims out. Rebound to to Green, back up and in for 2. And there's a steal for Kennedy. But as we were saying, Kennedy has players that are capable of scoring in double digits. They just do it more sporadically. Burchett is their consistent kind of go-to scorer. A little pick and roll up at the top of the key, but the ball's turned over. Kevney gets the steal, and she gives it right back to Kennedy. Power move there by Buchanan, but she misses off the front end of the rim. And the officials will stop action with a foul on Kennedy. That's Green whistled for the foul. Both teams have 1 foul so far. Kennedy with a 9-6 advantage. You see Kennedy in a 3-2 zone now. Could hear Coach Neibauer for the Wildcats calling out dice. Amundsen with a nice look from about 14 feet away, just inside the free throw line, no good. Kennedy advances the ball quickly up the floor. No good on the layup. Offensive rebound goes to Kennedy. That was Haley Williams getting the rebound. Then the ball was knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Eagles. Waconia playing man-to-man defense. Lob in over the outstretched arm of Amundsen to Buchanan. Buchanan back to Burchett. Burchett sizing up the defense, and she'll try her luck down the right side of the lane. And now we got a dribble weave going for the Eagles. Shot put up and no good by Daviyana Singleton-Buchanan. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Steer in transition, gives it to Swanson. Swanson loses her feet and gets rid of the ball to avoid a travel. Syme from the baseline, and it's a long 2-pointer. Cuts the lead to 1 for Kennedy. Just under 14 minutes left here in the first half. First subs checking in at the table for Waconia. Syme all over Burchett now. 5'11", senior guard Syme with those long arms. Makes her a tough defender to pass around. Now Williams has the ball, throws to the top of the key to Green, back to Burchett. There's Buchanan driving to the left. And we've got a foul on Waconia. Subbing into the game now for the Wildcats, Gabby Luagi, sophomore. Sarah Cravens, senior guard, and number 23, Kylie Sazama, a senior forward. Inbounds pass goes off the hands of Green and out of bounds, so possession will go back to the Cats. Kennedy going to come with some three-quarter court pressure now, a 1-2-2 zone, or maybe they're extending that 3-2 zone. Maybe trying to slow down the fast-paced attack of the Wildcats as Steer has the ball up top. Looking for cutters down into the paint. Craven's pass is tipped out of bounds by Burchett. 13 minutes and 3 seconds here in the first half of action. Craven's trying to find an opening in that zone. Luwagi gives a pass fake, and Green is whistled for her second foul. We'll see if Coach Quentin Johnson goes to the bench to protect one of his starters. Quentin Johnson in his 10th season coaching the Kennedy Eagles. Cravens finds Luwagi underneath. She puts it up, no good. Her second attempt is blocked by Singleton-Buchanan, and then the ball is tied up on the floor. Jump ball will go to Waconia. Into the game now for the Eagles, Allison Shaheen. She comes in for Green with 2 fouls. Sazama tries a 3 from the corner, and it's good. And Waconia takes back the lead, 11-9. That is what Sazama is known for. She is a 3-point specialist. As Kennedy cuts back door, layup is no good. Rebound, though, to Kennedy. Burchett has it back up top. Tries to drive by Steer. Steer gets some hands on her. And Ava Steer will be whistled for her first foul. We said at the start of the game, Ava Steer and Audrey Swanson both heading for Division II scholarships. And there's a illegal screen on the Eagles, which will result in a turnover. And ball back to the Wildcats. But Swanson checking into the game right now for Syme as Amundsen comes in for Steer. Steer will be matriculating at Mankato State University, or I believe it's now Minnesota State University Mankato. MSU Mankato is what they call themselves now. And then she will get to see her teammate twice a year, as Audrey Swanson will be taking her talents to Southwest Minnesota State. Sazama trapped in the corner, loose ball, tied up, and it's going to be a jump ball. This time it'll go to Kennedy on the alternating possession arrow. Burchett running the show for the 8-2 Eagles. Kicks out to the corner to Williams. Williams has got a good look for a 3, but it's off the top of the backboard. And that is out of bounds. So the ball will go back to Waconia. Checking in now for Kennedy, number 3, Macy Miller, in for Williams. Kennedy now back into a quarter court 3-2 zone. As Cravens dribbles up the right side of the floor, throws over to Swanson. Back to Cravens. Playing a little catch back and forth up top, trying to find a crease in that Eagle zone. Cravens with a skip over to Sazama. Swanson drives, cut off. Out to Cravens for an open 3, no good. Rebound goes to Buchanan. Buchanan back to Burchett. Burchett signals 4 with her fingers. Calling out a set play here. Miller sets a screen for Shaheen. Buchanan to Miller, back to Burchett. Good defense by the Wildcats here. And Swanson jumps that pass, and she's going to have a wide open layup. And that'll put the Wildcats in front 13-9 with 10 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the first half. Good ball pressure by Luwagi. Maybe a little too good as she's whistled for the foul. That is the 5th team foul on the Wildcats. Correction, 4th team foul on the Wildcats. Miller sets a screen, comes off and catches it in the corner. Burchett against Swanson. And they clear out for Burchett. Good help defense by the Wildcats. Burchett throws it to the backside. Singleton-Buchanan has it. Gives it back to Burchett. Step back. That's a 2 if it goes, and it does. It banks off the backboard. 13-11 now. Waconia in the lead. Well, we talked at the outset of the game about dictating tempo. With a score of 13-3 as we're almost halfway through the first half, I think we can say that Kennedy is successfully dictating the tempo to their liking to this point. As Swanson passes inside to Amundsen. Amundsen with a nice look finds Sazama for an easy 2. Really nice passing there by the Wildcats. Burchett walks the ball up, directing traffic. She gets a high ball screen. Created a switch and a mismatch that the Eagles probably like with the post for the Waconia on Burchett. Burchett with a nice bounce pass. Oh my, what an excellent pass. Buchanan missed the bunny. Rebound goes to Waconia. Swanson in transition. She says, we don't want to slow it down against these Eagles anymore. Sazama for 3. And Quentin Johnson will take our first time out of the game. Waconia on a run. They're up 18-11 with 9 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first half. We'll be back right after this on Prep Spotlight TV.
Such news. It's everything I ever wanted.
Get a look there at the Wildcat huddle. Coach Dusty Neibauer in his 3rd year leading the Waconia Wildcats. His 1st year, he guided the Wildcats to the state tournament for the first time ever in school history. This year, he ushers in a new era for Waconia basketball as the Wildcats have climbed into the Class 4A, the biggest class in all of Minnesota, for the first time. They're the 2nd smallest school in Class 4A. Burchett tries a 3 off the dribble. No good. Rebound goes to Swanson. Some pressure here by the Eagles. As Kevney throws it ahead to Steer. Steer tries to get it into Amundsen, but it's tipped away. And the ball is back to Kennedy. That was Leilani Harris creating the steal. Singleton-Buchanan running the point now. And the ball back to Burchett with Syme on her. Burchett, nice pass inside. Gets it right back to Singleton-Buchanan, and she's fouled as she starts to go up for 2.
Foul is on number 33, Steer. Singleton-Buchanan.
8 minutes and 31 seconds left here in the first half. First free throw, no good. Kennedy is 2-1 in the Metro West Conference. Most recently, a win on Tuesday night over conference opponent St. Louis Park in dramatic fashion. Kennedy wins by 1, 63-62, as the second free throw is no good. Rebound to Swanson. Kevney decides to pull it out and wait for some numbers. Over to Syme on the left wing. Swanson has it in the corner. Quick ball reversal there by the Cats. Syme thinks about the 3, then she drives, dishes to Steer. Steer's been in the lane for a while. Could hear Coach Johnson yelling for 3 seconds. And Miller gets the steal, but she quickly steps out of bounds. So the ball will go right back to the Wildcats. Pretty cleanly played game to this point by both teams. Not a lot of turnovers. Both teams shooting pretty well. Boy, Steer getting physical inside there. And she draws the foul, but there was some pushing and shoving between Steer and Shaheen before that ball went into the post. 4 team fouls now for the Eagles, 5 for the Wildcats, so both teams have a little wiggle room before we get into the bonus. Amundsen runs out to the backside corner, throws it into Steer. Steer over to Kevney. Kevney's going to try the 3 from the left wing. No good. Rebound to Syme. Back out to Kevney. Steer eyes up the 3. Misses off the left edge of the rim. And it'll be Kennedy's ball. Kennedy has been on a drought here for a few minutes. They've been stuck at 11 for quite a while as the Wildcats are coming with some three-quarter court pressure now. Steer gets the tip. It turns into a steal for Syme. Syme pushing the ball in transition. Back to Steer. Steer, she'll take another try at the 3. No good. Rebound to Burchett. Burchett in transition. attacking Amundsen. And Amundsen is whistled for the foul. Burchett will go to the line for 2.
Foul on that play by Amundsen.
We said that Kennedy is 2-1 in the conference. Waconia is 1-2 in the Metro West so far. Their first win in Metro West Conference history came on Tuesday night in a 7-point victory over Jefferson, the Jaguars, as Burchett knocks down the first free throw of 2. Steer checks out. Sophomore Gabby Luagi back in for the Wildcats. Luagi, one of the leading three-point shooters on the team. But Coach Neibauer says she can do a little bit of everything for the Wildcats. Kind of a jack of all trades. Perhaps a Jill of all trades as Burchett makes the second, cutting the lead to 5. 18-13 now. Kevney over to Syme. Syme gives it to Amundsen in the high post. Kevney to Luagi in the corner. Wildcats moving the ball quickly against this Bloomington Kennedy 3-2 zone. Swanson's going to try a 3 from the corner, and it's good. That's Miller driving at Amundsen. Amundsen with 2 fouls, though. She had to be careful. And discretion, the better part of valor there, as she decides to let Miller have 2 rather than picking up her 3rd foul. And I think Coach Neibauer is probably appreciative of that. Burchett knocks it away, but it'll go out of bounds and back to the Wildcats. The game is over 11 minutes old. I don't know that Burchett has subbed out of the game yet. She's the most important player to this Eagles team and is able to play every minute so far. Harris just subbed out, and back into the game is Buchanan. We haven't seen Maya Green for a while because she picked up 2 fouls early. Coach Johnson trying to protect her from getting her 3rd foul. Kevney directing some traffic here against the 3-2 zone. Ball goes through Syme's legs and out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Eagles. 6 minutes and 29 seconds left here in the first half. Kennedy controlling the tempo. They want to play games in the 50s. Waconia prefers their scores up in the upper 60s and low 70s. But the Eagles have absolutely controlled the tempo to this point. Little high-low look there. Amundsen knocks it away and out of bounds. It'll remain with Kennedy. Possession arrow goes to Waconia right now. Nice drive there by Singleton-Buchanan. Her shot is off the mark. Rebound to Syme. Swanson advances the ball for the Wildcats. To Kevney. Skip pass to Syme. Quickly to the corner to Luagi. Kennedy, very astutely, jumps that passing lane. That was Burchett with the pass. Coach Johnson tried to call timeout before she fell out of bounds, but the official did not grant him the timeout. So the ball back to Waconia, but Kennedy seems like they're starting to get this Wildcat offense figured out. Burchett, that's the 2nd time she's come very close to a clean steal. As Sazama back into the game for the Wildcats, in for Amundsen. Kevney to the corner to Sazama. Her shot is short, rebound to Burchett. Burchett likes to push the ball in transition, and now she waits for numbers as she's got a matchup against Sazama there. That's Singleton-Buchanan with a nice pull-up. And that bucket cuts the lead to 4. Wildcats try to get it into the post in transition, but it's knocked away by Singleton-Buchanan. Craven subs in for Kevney. Sazama catches it in the corner. The Eagles try to trap her there, but she gets it in quickly to Steer. Steer up and good. Tough angle for the shot, but she extends the lead back to 6 for Waconia as we approach 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Waconia in a zone of their own now. The Wildcats sitting in a 2-3. Singleton-Buchanan drives to the middle again, and her pull-up jumper from 15 is good again. Burchett gets another hand on a pass. I know there's a lot of Division I college teams that like to track deflected passes. How many passes can you get a hand on? And that usually translates to pretty good defense. Well, Burchett has about 4 or 5 already with 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Very active defensively. And actually, speaking to Coach Johnson before the game, he mentioned that the Eagles are without what he considers perhaps their best defensive player tonight. Senior Naraya Dismukes is out with an injury. As Steer gets it inside, back to Cravens. Cravens with a good look from the top of the key, misses a little bit to the left. The rebound goes to Buchanan. Over to Singleton-Buchanan for a 3, no good. Steer with the rebound. 5'11" post Steer, pushing the ball in transition. You don't see that very often, but that's what makes her a Division II caliber player. Steer into Swanson for an easy 2. That's a nice high-low combination there for the Wildcats. Steer and Swanson. Wildcats gamble for the steal in the backcourt, and Kennedy breaks it. Nice bounce pass in the lane, and that's Maya Green back into the game with the finish. And she'll get a free throw because she was hacked in the act of shooting. Four minutes and 1 second to play. As that shot is short, Swanson collects the rebound. Waconia has led nearly the entire first half, but Kennedy has cut into that lead here a little bit as Steer has it in the paint, thinks about it, but kicks it back out. Sazama in the corner, back to Cravens up top. Cravens with a little penetration there. Wildcats kind of keeping the ball on that right side. Traditionally, one of the best ways to beat a zone is to reverse the ball. So we'll see if they look to do that here in the next couple of possessions. 25-21, the Wildcats with the advantage. Ball goes into Syme on the right wing. Syme drives with her left hand, gives it to Cravens. Cravens with a little fake, but she's whistled for walking. And it'll be Kennedy ball. Pretty nice crowd here tonight. We got a student section over there for the Wildcats. Looks to be maybe 300 fans in attendance. If you add up both sides of the gym, maybe a little bit more than that, in fact. As Burchett and her Eagles are eyeing up this Waconia 2-3 zone. Ball goes inside to Green. Green gives it up. That's Samara Buchanan, the senior, with the bucket. Trims the lead to 2. Cravens tries a bounce pass. That's picked away by Burchett. She advances the ball quickly, gives it to Green. Her shot's no good. Rebound to Cravens. Cravens ahead to Steer. Steer attacks the basket hard, off the glass, no good. Rebound to Williams. Haley Williams gets it to Burchett. Over to Singleton-Buchanan. Good ball reversal there by the Eagles. Into the high post. Singleton-Buchanan gets it on the wing. She likes to shoot off the dribble, and she's got another nice pull-up jumper. That's the third time that she's taken 1 or 2 dribbles into the paint and knocked down a jump shot, and it'll lead the Wildcats and Coach Neibauer to call their first time out of the game. We're tied at 25 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first half, and we'll be back right after this on Prep Spotlight TV.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I work at McDonald's in Rochester, Minnesota. What I really like about working at McDonald's is definitely the positive environment. The managers seem very understandable if you make a mistake. Something I learned is multitasking. Working at McDonald's definitely helped my confidence. I kind of have to speak clear about what the customer really wants. In school, I'm in band, I play the French horn / mellophone. I think it's definitely taught me to have good teamwork and definitely be more confident when playing.
For job information, text APPLY to 38000 or visit mcdonalds.com/careers.
We are back at Waconia High School for this Metro West Conference matchup. If cameraman Wayne Trapp would be kind enough to pan over to the banners on the wall for our Waconia fans that are new to the Metro West Conference, because there's no Metro West Conference play in football. There you get a glance at some of the teams, and in fact all of the teams in the Metro West Conference. Jefferson and Kennedy, Benilde, Orono, Cooper, St. Louis Park, Chaska, Chanhassen, New Prague, along with the host Wildcats tonight. Ball to the Wildcats with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to play here in the first half. We're all tied up at 25. Ball goes into Amundsen. She misses the one-footer. Rebound to Burchett. Burchett 1-on-2. Good decision to pull it back out. Gets it to Buchanan. And now it looks like the Wildcats back to man-to-man defense after trying some 2-3 for a little while. Kevney takes on Green at the top of the key. And that's Luagi with the reach in. And that'll put Green at the free throw line. The 8th team foul on the Wildcats. So Green will get the 1-and-1. Green's first attempt is good to break the tie and give Kennedy their first lead in, boy, I'd say about 15 minutes of action. It's been a while since the Eagles were on top, but Green's first free throw breaks the tie. Her second shot is good as well. And the Eagles take a 2-point lead. So they come with a little three-quarter court pressure. Luagi lobs it into Amundsen. She's in jail right underneath the basket. Kicks it out to Simon. Simon is fouled by Burchett. And that will put the Wildcats at the line. That is the 7th team foul for the Eagles. Oh, correction. That's the 6th team foul. Boy, they're pretty quick on the finger down there. Scoreboard operator Derek Myrie. Remarkably quick reflexes. Kevney directing traffic up at the top of the key. Tries to use a screen from Simon as Sazama runs out to the corner. Immediately the Eagles come out to trap her, and Burchett gets the steal. She's been coming pretty close to stealing that pass, and this time she does. Pull-up jumper in the lane, no good. Rebound to Amundsen. Burchett has definitely been eyeing up that return pass to the wing, and she timed it up just right that last time. Kevney goes to Luagi in the corner. Oh, almost another steal there by the Eagles as Kevney's three is off the mark. Rebound to Green. We're inside of a minute now with Kennedy with a 2-point lead as Singleton-Buchanan with a nice drive and a bucket. Singleton-Buchanan has scored 8 or 10 points here in just the last 4 minutes of action. She has really asserted herself for the Eagles. Luagi tries to pass across to Amundsen, and it's knocked out of bounds by Buchanan. Well, you know, we said earlier that Burchett is the consistent scorer for Bloomington Kennedy, scoring 17 a game, but they're always, at least to this point in the season, with this nice 8-2 record, they've been really good at finding at least one other player to step up and score in double figures. So far tonight, that's Singleton-Buchanan. Just a sophomore, but showing some flashes of greatness here tonight. Syme goes to Kevney. Kevney throws it into Swanson. They like their matchup there against the smaller Miller. But Swanson misses, and I thought she might have got away with a foul there for a second. But the referee underneath the basket caught her. And it'll be Miller stepping to the line with 15.6 seconds to play. She'll look to extend the Kennedy lead. Swanson, that's her second foul, so Sarah Cravens, the senior, comes to the table, probably checking in for her fellow senior Swanson, but the shot is no good. Swanson gets the rebound, Amundsen gives it to Kevney. Kevney tries to throw ahead to Syme. We're at 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Kevney tries it underneath the basket. She's fouled with 5 seconds remaining. And she'll go to the free throw line. The sophomore point guard. They call her Eek. Of course, based off her initials, Elena Kevney, E-K, but her affectionate nickname is Eek. Her first free throw is good. So she'll earn a second in the bonus. Wholesale substitutions for the Wildcats. Kennedy sneaks 2 players way back into the corner with just 5 seconds to play. They might try a long pass up the floor here, depending on what Kevney does with this free throw. That one's a little short, but it rolls in. And Burchett with 2-1 tries a long 3 at the buzzer, no good. And at halftime, the Kennedy Eagles lead the Waconia Wildcats by 2, 29-27. We'll get you some halftime statistics in a few minutes, but first, this timeout here on Prep Spotlight TV.
We have the ability to overcome anything as long as we're surrounded by the right people. Comebacks imply returning to where you once were. I want to go where I've never been.
Star Tribune covers high school sports as passionately as you live them. Don't miss a beat on the games you love. Check out Star Tribune all day, every day for the latest prep news, scores, and so much more.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Such news! It's everything I ever wanted.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Star Tribune covers high school sports as passionately as you live them. Don't miss a beat on the games you love. Check out Star Tribune all day, every day for the latest prep news, scores, and so much more.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Welcome back to Waconia as Kennedy makes a run here at the end of the first half to take a 29-27 lead at halftime. Let's take a look at some of the leading scorers for both teams here at the half. We'll start with the Kennedy Eagles. Leading the way for Kennedy, number 33, sophomore Maya Green. She has 9 points, which is really impressive given the fact that she sat for a long stretch of the first half. She picked up 2 fouls early, and she had to sit for probably 8 to 10 minutes of the first half before Coach Johnson rolled the dice and sent her back out there. But she has 9 to lead the way. The second leading scorer for the Eagles at halftime, number 24, Daviyana Singleton-Buchanan. She has 8 points, all of them on nice little drives into and towards the lane for pull-up jumpers late there in the first half. The leading scorer typically for the Eagles, Ashley Burchett, junior guard. She's been held to 5 so far, but other teammates elevating their game and helping lead the way for the Eagles. I will say a tip of the hat to Grace Syme. I think she's done a pretty nice job on Ashley Burchett to this point, holding a player that typically scores 17 points a game to just 5 in the first half. Other scorers in the first half for Kennedy, Haley Williams, the sophomore, has 3. Macy Miller off the bench with 2. And senior Samara Buchanan with 2. And let's turn our attention now to the Wildcats and their scoring. Leading the way for the Cats, senior Audrey Swanson. She has 9 points. Kylie Sazama off the bench with 8, including a couple of big 3-pointers. Next in the scoring parade for the Wildcats, Ava Steer has 6 points. And then we turn our attention to sophomore Elena Kevney. She has 4. And rounding out the scoring for Waconia, senior Grace Syme, the guard, with 2. Again, Kennedy leads 29-27 at halftime. We've got 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. We'll take another break, and when we come back, you'll probably just get to see fans walking by for a couple of minutes until we're ready to tip off the second half. But one more quick timeout here on Prep Spotlight TV.
Otten Brothers Garden Center is located in beautiful Long Lake, Minnesota. Visit our 12-acre garden and landscape supply center to enjoy one of the largest selections of plant material, landscaping supplies, gardening tools, gifts, birding supplies, pottery, and more in the Midwest. Experience festive holiday shopping in our indoor Christmas tree and fresh greens display. Otten Brothers has everything you need for the holidays. You can enjoy shopping in our all-season, all-weather greenhouse and store all year round.
Such news! It's everything I ever wanted.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I work at McDonald's in Rochester, Minnesota. What I really like about working at McDonald's is definitely the positive environment.
How'd it go on?
The managers seem very understandable if you make a mistake. Something I learned is multitasking. Working at McDonald's definitely helped my confidence.
Have a good day.
I kind of have to speak clear about what the customer really wants. In school, I'm in band. I play the French horn / mellophone. I think it's definitely taught me to have good teamwork and definitely be more confident when playing.
For job information, text APPLY to 38000 or visit mcdonalds.com/careers.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Waconia as we are just about ready to start the second half here as Kennedy comes out of the locker room with a 2-point lead. Again, the Eagles 8-2 on the season. Over the holiday break, they went down to Rochester and played in the Rochester Rotary Tournament where they beat Rochester John Marshall and Rochester Century. Both pretty competitive games. As I recall, they won each game by about 5 or 6 points. And then again on Tuesday night, they got their second Metro West Conference win with a 63-62 win, a nail-biter over St. Louis Park. Over the break, it was the Wildcats traveling up to Perham to play in the Hive, one of the nicer gyms in all of Minnesota. They beat Perham on a buzzer beater in overtime by Audrey Swanson, made a long three to win it at the buzzer. And then they also got a win over Barnesville. And then, of course, they beat Jefferson by 7 on Tuesday night. So a 3-game winning streak right now for the Wildcats. Audrey Swanson averaging 15.5 points per game. Her twin tower, her dynamic duo partner, Ava Steer, averaging 15.6 points per game. So almost identical scoring for those two. Coach Neibauer says they both have a chance at reaching the 1,000-point mark, and Audrey Swanson just got a little bit closer to that mark with her bucket in the paint. She also was fouled on the play, so she'll get a free throw.
Foul is on number 33.
Yes, Coach Neibauer said if both players continue at the pace that they're on, they could both join the 1,000-point club sometime in the next couple of weeks. Pretty elite company in the 47 or 48 years that Waconia has had a girls basketball program. Only 6 or 7 players have cracked that 1,000-point mark. Waconia takes the lead right back here as we start the second half. Up by 1 after Swanson's and 1. Kennedy working the ball around against this Wildcat man-to-man. Ball to Burchett. She goes by Syme, kicks it back out to Williams. Williams to Singleton-Buchanan, and Burchett tries a 3 off the back of the rim. Swanson will let it bounce out of bounds towards that Wildcat student section. The Eagles coming with some full court pressure again. And Waconia slices and dices right through that. Steer drives the lane, and she's got an easy bucket.
Basket by Steer.
That'll put Waconia back up by 3. Wildcats had no trouble with the Kennedy pressure that time. Williams back to Green. Green is a lefty, but she'll drive to the right. Gives it to Singleton-Buchanan at the top of the key. There's Burchett with a step back. Lost her dribble, but Syme knocked it away and gave it right back to her. Active hands by Grace Syme actually helped Burchett that time. Burchett with a nice drive and a dish to Singleton-Buchanan. Her shot's off the mark. Steer collects the rebound and starts driving immediately up the floor. Finds a cutting Syme. Syme with a nice bounce pass to Amundsen. What great court vision by Grace Syme. And Waconia is now on a 7-0 run to start the second half, up 34-29. There's Green. That was Samara Buchanan with the missed layup. Kevney, eyes up to Swanson for the 3. Off the mark. Good rebound there by Kevney, and she's fouled as she tries to put it back up. Coaches always love to see point guards that are willing to stick their nose in there and get some rebounds amongst the trees.
Foul is on Singleton-Buchanan. Kevney will be shooting 2.
It's a 7-0 run to start the second half for Waconia. Kevney will try to add to it here with the first of 2 free throws, and the first one is good. Elena Kevney shooting 45% from the three-point line so far this year. The team leader in three-point percentage. And usually good three-point shooters translate to good free throw shooters, and she knocks them both down. Extends the run to a 9-0 run. Singleton-Buchanan gives it to Burchett. Burchett putting on some nice moves. Catches it in the corner. She's got a mismatch here with the Waconia post guarding her, so she's going to pull it out, and Kennedy's going to spread it out to let Burchett drive by her. Nice tip, though, by the Waconia defender.
Foul is on Kennedy.
It'll be Eagles ball out of bounds. Burchett to throw it in. To Singleton-Buchanan in the corner. She'll drive again. Shot is up and no good. Steer skies for the rebound. Pushes the ball, little hesitation dribble. Off the glass. Halfway down, but no good. Singleton-Buchanan with the board for the Eagles. Gives it to Burchett. Burchett hands off to Haley Williams, and Haley Williams is fouled as she attempts the three. Waconia student section expressing their angst over that call by the official. But I can tell you from my angle, it looked like a pretty good call. Haley Williams' first free throw is off the mark. Second shot is good. And that is the first point for the Eagles in the second half. They went 3 minutes and 10 seconds before tickling the twine. Third shot is no good, so she gets 1 out of 3. And the Waconia lead is reduced to 5. As the Eagles get into their 3-2 zone. Amundsen in the corner. Skip pass to Kevney to Swanson for a nice little jumper. About a 6 or 7 footer. Swanson makes it look easy. That puts her at 14 by my count. Swanson with 14 points so far. Green's shot is no good. Steer with the rebound, looks ahead to Swanson. Drives past Green, and Steer is fouled as she drives. So she'll step to the line for 2. Steer is the leading free throw shooter for the Wildcats so far this season. She's been knocking them down at a stellar 89% clip. I mean, there's plenty of WNBA and NBA players that would envy that free throw percentage. First one is good. Second shot by Steer, also good. And the Waconia lead is now 10 with just over 14 minutes to play here in the second half in this Metro West Conference collision. Green kicks it out. Nice drive there by Buchanan, but her shot is short. Kevney advances the ball for Waconia. Steer eyes up the 3. Good backspin, but it misses out. Syme with the rebound up and no good. And the ball's knocked out of bounds, and it'll go towards the Eagles. Oh, and one there for Green. Looks like she was fouled by Sazama. That makes it 40-32. Our score bug was wrong, but now we've got it right, and we'll see what Green does with this free throw. Up and good. Completes the three-point play, the old-fashioned three-point play, and Kennedy's going to come with some full court zone again. Waconia had sliced through it a few possessions ago, but a little more deliberate this time. A little different lineup in for the Wildcats as well. Sazama's pass into the post, knocked out of bounds by Singleton-Buchanan. And it'll be Waconia ball underneath as Cravens will throw it in. 13 minutes and 15 seconds left here as Steer's shot attempt is blocked by Singleton-Buchanan. Green in transition. Gets it to Burchett. Over to Singleton-Buchanan. She'll drive and pull up. Short. Big rebound. That's Samara Buchanan. Senior post gets the offensive rebound, and she's fouled as she tries to put it back up. That's the first foul on Sarah Cravens. First free throw up and good. Coach Johnson has not gone to his bench yet here in the second half. We're 5 minutes into it. We talked at the beginning of the game how depth might be a factor and that Waconia feels better about their depth than probably does Bloomington Kennedy. So we'll see if that's a factor here in the second half as the game gets into its closing minutes, if the Wildcats are a little more fresh. As Cravens tries a three from the top of the key, she banks it in. Senior guard Sarah Cravens with a big three-pointer to take some momentum back for the Wildcats. Green with an aggressive drive to the basket. Amundsen doesn't like the call, but she's whistled for a foul, and Maya Green will go to the free throw line. Green's first shot is good. Into the game for the Wildcats, Luagi, as Amundsen goes out with her third foul. At this stage, having three isn't anything to consider a crisis for Waconia with 12 and a half minutes to play, but they'll try to keep their big post away from her fourth foul for at least a few minutes. As Syme handles the point here. Gets it over to Cravens. Luagi standing in the high post, skip pass to Sazama. Sazama's going to try a three. Off the front of the rim, rebound to Burchett. Burchett attacking Syme. Layup is good. 43-39 now the score. A little extracurricular down on the floor there after the whistle. As Swanson and Burchett giving each other the business. Teams are getting a little feisty here as Kennedy has cut into this Waconia lead, reducing it to 4. Waconia in their person-to-person, man-to-man defense. Syme gives a little space to Burchett. Burchett kicks it out to the corner to Williams. Williams gives it back to Burchett. Burchett with a little razzle-dazzle. No call by the official, but she makes the layup. Trims the lead to 2. You can hear the Kennedy bench getting into it. They've got the momentum right now as Syme throws it into Luagi. Luagi undersized, but puts it up against the big Kennedy post and almost gets it to go. Singleton-Buchanan with the rebound. Over to Burchett, sizing up the defense yet again. Sazama guarding Singleton-Buchanan, and she's whistled for the block. They're going to call it on the ground, but that may be the 7th foul for the Wildcats. Let's see. It is, and so Singleton-Buchanan will step to the stripe. – 11 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Eagles with a chance to tie it. They led by 2 at halftime, and then the Wildcats went on a big run to start the second half. Waconia led by as much as 10 at 40-30, but since that point, Kennedy is on a 12-3 run. Make that a 13-3 run as the score is now tied at 43. We've got a good one here in Waconia between two great Metro West teams Kennedy enters the game at 8-2, Waconia 5-4. As the ball is knocked away and out of bounds by Buchanan, but it's touched by Kennedy last and goes back to the Wildcats. Coach Neibauer gesticulating on the sideline, trying to direct his Wildcats to get to the right spaces against this 3-2 or 3-2 zone. A little back and forth between Simon Craven. Sazama catches it on the wing. Steers posting up inside. Sazama tries a three off the front of the rim. Rebound to Luwagi, but she goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it was last touched by Kennedy. So the ball will go to Waconia on the sideline there. Nice pass into Steer on the backside. She goes up strong. Just misses the one-footer. Rebound to Singleton-Buchanan, and she's met by Syme right away. There's Syme, Garden, Burchett. Syme did a terrific job on the Kennedy leading scorer in the first half. Burchett drives, kicks to Green. Green for three. Misses it long. Rebound to Buchanan. Back out to Williams. And that ball's tipped away by Luwagi. As the clock stops with exactly 10 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the second half. The team's tied at 43. Again, Kennedy sticking with their starters for 8 straight minutes here. Ooh, nice block by Steer. It's rebounded by Syme. Syme pushes the ball in transition, gives it to Steer. Steer with a fake. Dumps down to Luwagi. Oh, Luwagi's one-footer, no good, but she gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in. Impressive play by Gabby Luwagi. You don't often see a kid miss a one-footer and get the rebound on the other side of the lane, but heads-up play by Luwagi. Good hustle. Didn't hang her head after missing the one-footer and gets a big bucket for Waconia. Singleton-Buchanan over to Burchett. And that's Buchanan, the senior. Left-handed layup, no good. Rebound to Steer. Throws it up to Cravens. Cravens to Syme. Syme to Sazama. She's got an open look at a three, and she buries it. That's her third three-pointer of the game. And just like that, the Wildcats back up by 5. Singleton-Buchanan with a nice drive, but she misses off the back of the rim. Steer with the rebound. Steer to Luwagi in transition. No good on the layup. Burchett with the rebound. Both teams missing some opportunities here in the paint. Some pretty good looks. The tempo has definitely favored Waconia, though, here in the second half. A lot more up-tempo than what we saw in the first half. And I think we're starting to see it with the Eagles. They're looking a little tired. That's maybe part of the reason some of these shots are missing short is Green misses a layup. Craven's in transition. Here come the Wildcats, pushing the ball up the floor again. Syme kicks it out to Cravens to Steer. Wide open look for Steer. Nothing but glass on that one. As Burchett gets the rebound, kicks it out to Green. Green's shot is short. Cravens, boy, look at this. I mean, a couple of the Kennedy players are just laboring to get up the floor right now as Sazama tries a three, and she's got it. Coach Johnson forced to call a timeout as Waconia extends their lead to 51-43, courtesy of 2 Kylie Sazama three-pointers. 7 minutes and 44 seconds to play here in the second half. We'll take a break and be right back after this. There you see 10-year head coach Quentin Johnson guiding his Eagles had to take a timeout to stop the run there as Waconia on an 8-0 run of their own now with 7 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Wildcats up 51-43. That timeout came at an important time as the 5 starters for the Eagles looked very winded. At least a couple of them did. They were really having a hard time getting up and down the floor. Kennedy controlled the tempo in the first half. The Wildcats have controlled the tempo here for most of the second half. Wildcats led by Audrey Swanson and Ava Steer, both of them averaging about 15.5 points per game, both of them heading off to NSIC Division II schools, courtesy of athletic scholarships, basketball scholarships. Maya Green gets it on the weave, throws to Singleton-Buchanan. She drives, short shot, no good. But long rebound goes to Williams, and she's fouled 40 feet away from the basket by Sazama. And she'll go to the line in the bonus. That's a foul that's got Coach Neibauer shaking his head. Never want to foul a player in a position where they can't score, and especially when they're in the bonus. First sub of the second half now for Kennedy as Leilani Harris enters the game for Buchanan. And Kennedy without one of their top players tonight as the first free throw goes. Naraya Dismukes, senior guard, unavailable for the Eagles this evening. Williams' second shot is long, and it's rebounded by Steer. Steer's got to be approaching a double-double at this point between her points and her rebounds. 51-44, the Wildcats with the advantage. Sazama in the corner. They've been trying to trap that corner and then steal that return pass to the wing. Burchett has been particularly adept at that. Macy Miller checks into the game now for Williams. With 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, long pass across the floor to Sazama. Her shot's no good, but Steer with a nice rebound, and she's whistled for a walk. Not sure that her pivot foot moved, but she did come down a little awkwardly, so the official felt like she traveled. Kevney now on Burchett. Singleton-Buchanan takes it, gives it to Green. Green with a hard drive down the lane, kicks out to Burchett. Burchett goes baseline, up against Amundsen. No good, but she gets her own rebound, and it's tied up by Kevney and Burchett. The jump ball goes to Kennedy. 6 minutes and 41 seconds to play as Waconia leads by 7 here on Prep Spotlight TV. That's Singleton-Buchanan with a nice stroke from the corner. Big three-pointer. Cuts the lead to 4. That allows the Eagles to set up their defense. They haven't been able to do that much here the last several minutes. It's been a lot of transition action by Waconia. Swanson cuts down to the corner. She's going to try a long three. Misses it short. Goes through Sazama's legs, and Burchett may have a wide-open layup. Swanson comes flying in, but misses the block attempt, and now the Waconia lead trimmed to 2. As Swanson drives the lane, pull-up jumper. Misses short. Burchett with the rebound. It's a 2-on-1 now for the Eagles. She gives it up to Miller. Miller's blocked. Sazama and Kevney both got a hand on that one and send it out of bounds. I've been around basketball a long time. That might be the first time I've seen a shot blocked twice on its way up, but it was blocked twice. You know, that's why you come to the gym. You see something new every time. As Miller tries a three from the corner, no good. Syme right there for the rebound. 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Amundsen just inside the three-point line. She gets it. Smooth stroke by the post. And the Cats are back up by 4. Boy, Waconia looks a lot more comfortable when they're in transition. Luwagi closes out hard. And she's going to be whistled for the foul. Singleton-Buchanan will get 3 attempts from the charity stripe. The Waggy may have closed out a little too aggressively there. Got a fist into the torso of Singleton-Buchanan. Waconia student section doing all they can to make the sophomore miss. We apologize for the apparent earthquake on your screen, but that was some of the fans over on our side of the bleachers pounding their feet as the second free throw is no good. This is the second time Kennedy was fouled on a three-pointer. First time they went 1 for 3. This time they meatloaf it and they go 2 out of 3. That ain't bad. The Wildcat lead is trimmed to 2. It's 53-51 with 5 minutes and 24 seconds left. We've got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back right after this on Prep Spotlight TV.
Star Tribune covers high school sports as passionately as you live them. Don't miss a beat on the games you love. Check out Star Tribune all day, every day for the latest prep news, scores, and so much more.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Welcome back to Waconia High School. We've got a good one here in Metro West Conference action. Waconia with a narrow 53-51 lead. 5 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the second half. Just taking a look at the scoreboard here, Waconia has been whistled for 9 team fouls, only 3 on the Eagles so far. That could be a factor here in these final 5 minutes. Swanson shot fakes and drives, and an illegal screen is called on sophomore Gabby Luagi, number 10. So no free throws result in that one, as it's just a turnover, but that is the 10th foul on Waconia, so every subsequent foul means Kennedy will get 2 shots automatically from the free throw line. Burchett has been held in check most of the night, but supporting players Green and Singleton-Buchanan have stepped up. Nice pass by Green there. She dumps it off to Leilani Harris, and Harris is fouled as she goes up in the paint. And that is the 4th foul on Mackenzie Amundsen. Amundsen, a heck of a shot blocker for Waconia, but she has not been as much of a factor tonight. Saddled with some foul trouble. And Amundsen will check out with 4 minutes and 59 seconds left. Steer comes back in. A couple of sophomores and 3 seniors on the floor for the Wildcats. Rebound goes to Green. No good. Could have given the Eagles the lead there with that putback, but instead it's a 1-point Waconia lead with 4 minutes and 48 seconds to play here in the second half. Kennedy sticking with that 3-2 zone that has flummoxed the Wildcats for good stretches of the second half here. Swanson gets rid of it just before she's trapped. Ooh, almost got the pass there, did Miller. Kevney tries to get rid of it quick, and it's stolen away by Green. Here come the Eagles in transition. Green to Singleton-Buchanan, over to Burchett. Good post up by Harris, but Burchett thinks better of it. Green, she's a lefty. She drives down the lane. Nice left-handed scoop shot, and that gives the Eagles a 54-55 lead. I apologize, I hit the 3 button instead of the 2 in my excitement. So ignore your screen for the moment. It is 54-53. Kennedy has the lead. As Kevney throws into Steer. Steer tries to go back out to Kevney. Burchett runs it down. Spin move, and she is fouled as she goes up for 2. Crucial turnover there by the Wildcats with 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. That is just the second foul on Kevney. I think Coach Neibauer probably pleased that the call was on Kevney as opposed to Steer. I think Steer's in a little bit more foul trouble than the sophomore point guard is. Burchett's first free throw, no good. If she makes the second one, you won't see a change in the score because the actual score right now is 54-53. Crowd gets kind of quiet for her second shot. And that one's good. And now our score bug is right. Kennedy up by 2 as Coach Neibauer calls a timeout for a crucial possession with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. We'll step away and be right back after this on Prep Spotlight TV.
Otten Brothers Garden Center is located in beautiful Long Lake, Minnesota. Visit our 12-acre garden and landscape supply center to enjoy one of the largest selections of plant material, landscaping supplies, gardening tools, gifts, birding supplies, pottery, and more in the Midwest. Experience festive holiday shopping in our indoor Christmas tree and fresh greens display. Otten Brothers has everything you need for the holidays. You can enjoy shopping in our all-season, all-weather greenhouse and store all year round.
Here you get a look at some of our young fans here, a couple of future Wildcats there in the crowd. As I look up at the Metro West banners, I'm reminded that New Prague and Orono are the other new additions to the Metro West along with Waconia this year. And again, Waconia in their first year in Class 4A, running with the big dogs. Syme catches a dangerous pass on the wing, gives it to Kevney in the corner. Kevney's trapped, she dribbles out of trouble. Skip pass to Swanson, Swanson, big three, leaves it short. Rebound to Kevney. Kevney up and she's fouled. That is the second big rebound in the paint for the vertically challenged sophomore point guard. Stepping in to get key rebounds when her team needs it most. First free throw, no good. 3 minutes and 21 seconds left here in the second half. We said that Kevney is the leading three-point shooter for the Wildcats. She's been knocking them down at a 45% clip. We'll see if this one goes. Rims out, no good. Rebound to Kennedy. Ooh, the crowd might have talked the official into the travel on that one. The crowd got pretty animated, and the official in front of the ball didn't call the travel. Well, it looks like now maybe the officials are going to talk it over. I'm no expert, but I would say the official closest to the play probably had the better view. And the one that actually called the travel, I think maybe was influenced by the Waconia crowd a bit. I think the right call is made now here as, oh, they do give the ball to Waconia. My mistake. I thought they were going to give it to Kennedy. Amundsen catches it in the corner. Over to Syme. Syme to Kevney. Kevney for a chance to take the lead. No good. Rebound goes to Green. Green drives the lane. Tough shot. Amundsen with the big rebound. And Syme advances the ball up the floor. This is where Waconia wants to score in transition, and they do. Steer banks it off the glass to tie the game. The Wildcats have been far more efficient when they don't let the Eagles set up in that 3-2 zone. And they cash in transition that time. Burchett going at Syme. That's Miller back to Burchett. Tie game with 2.5 minutes to play here at Waconia High School. And there's going to be a foul called, and that's going to send Burchett to the line for 2 as Kennedy is in the double bonus. And again, need to emphasize this, only 4 team fouls whistled on Kennedy so far. So they've got a couple fouls to give. They can afford to be pretty aggressive on defense when this clock gets inside of 2 minutes. Burchett's first free throw is no good. And the Waconia student section loves it. Second free throw is good. Breaks the tie and puts the Eagles back on top by 1. Kevney throws up a fist to signal the play. And Kennedy is whistled for a push in the high post. That'll be their 5th team foul with 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play. Kevney going to throw it in from the far side. Swanson breaks to the top of the key. Steer trying to post up, as is Amundsen. Swanson cuts down underneath the zone, catches it in the short corner, tries to dump it off to Steer, and Burchett steals the ball but steps out of bounds just before she can save it into her teammate. And it'll be Waconia ball underneath with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Swanson runs out to the corner. She's got an open look for a 3, and she's got it! The Waconia crowd on their feet as Swanson hits a 3 to take back the lead with under 2 minutes to go. Miller just inside the three-point line, bakes in a long 2, and that ties it. 58-58 with 1:40 remaining. Swanson with the ball at the top of the key, gives it into Steer. Steer to Amundsen, short jumper is good. And the Wildcats back up by 2. 1:26 now on the clock as Burchett works on Syme. Burchett kicks out to Singleton-Buchanan. That's Buchanan. And that's Green going to her left. Kicks it out. Singleton-Buchanan with the pull-up. It's blocked by Steer, rebounded by Amundsen. And Singleton-Buchanan is hurt. We'll see if the officials will stop play, and they do as Waconia stops advancing the ball. Singleton-Buchanan grabbing for her knee after she went up and had that shot blocked. So the clock is stopped with exactly 1 minute to play. Waconia will have the ball and a 2-point lead. Still 5 team fouls on Kennedy, so they've got 1 to give before they put the Wildcats in the bonus. Subbing in for Singleton-Buchanan is Allison Shaheen, but it's going to be a big loss for the Eagles in this final minute, as Singleton-Buchanan has had a heck of a game on both ends of the floor. As the athletic training staff has taken a look at her, we'll take a quick timeout, be back right after this. Welcome back to Waconia High School. We've had a heck of a game here, back and forth. Both teams, as they say, it's been a game of runs, and it certainly has been tonight, as Waconia was up by 10, Kennedy was up by 4 or 5, and back and forth we go. The most recent advantage goes to the Wildcats, courtesy of a big three-pointer by Audrey Swanson. And Singleton-Buchanan back up on her feet. Again, it'll be Waconia ball here as they have the lead with 1 minute to play. On the floor for Kennedy, Allison Shaheen, Samara Buchanan, Macy Miller. So only 3 starters on the floor right now as Steer gets the inbound pass. Kennedy is going to have to attack the ball here and foul pretty soon. They have a little time to go for a steal, but they're going to have to send the Cats to the line here shortly. There's a foul called on Kennedy. Next one will put the Wildcats at the stripe. Waconia very likely wants to get the ball to number 33, Ava Steer, in this situation. Again, she is far and away the best free throw shooter on the team at 89%. There are several players in the low 60s and the mid 50s, but the official saying that the Kennedy player reached across the plane out of bounds, so that'll be a warning this time. If it happens again, I believe it is a technical foul. But Kennedy playing aggressively, trying to get a steal to get a chance to tie it with 44.2 seconds to play. Ball goes into Steer. She's going to be reluctant to give it up as she'll want Kennedy to foul her. And they do foul her as she's dribbling. So the Wildcats will have their very best free throw shooter at the line with 36.5 seconds to go. And how about that? Singleton-Buchanan checks back into the game. Just a couple of minutes ago, it looked like she may be out for an extended period of time, but she's shaking it off and knows that her team needs her at crunch time here. Steer's first free throw, no good, and Kennedy will have a chance to tie it with 33 seconds remaining. Shot is up and good. That's Burchett, ties the game at 60. And Coach Johnson is able to get a timeout before Waconia can throw the ball inbounds. So 28 seconds remaining. Burchett with the basket to tie it. And it'll be Waconia ball underneath the basket. They'll have to go the length of the floor. But in this circumstance, you have to wonder if Coach Johnson may have called the timeout with the intention of putting some full court pressure on with 28 seconds to play. Both coaches have their clipboards. Coach Neibauer scribbling out a press break offense, perhaps. Let's take a look at the timeout situation. Boy, that's some great camera work by Wayne Trapp. I mean, we don't get that in NBA games. He's taking you right inside the huddle right now, folks. And so far, it looks like they're going to have a player standing at the elbow. That's all we can tell so far. 28 seconds stand between Waconia, Bloomington, Kennedy, and a Metro West win. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Kennedy is in the double bonus. Waconia simply in the bonus. And Grace Syme will throw it into sophomore Elena Kevney. Kennedy does come out in their 3-2 zone. Syme offers a ball screen up top. Kevney picks up her dribble. Stolen away by Burchett. 12 seconds left, and Coach Johnson takes another timeout with 11.8 seconds. The ball belongs to Kennedy. And we'll take a brief timeout and be back here in a moment on Prep Spotlight TV.
Such news! It's everything I ever wanted.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the air just went out of this Waconia High School gym. Just seconds ago, the Wildcats had the ball and a chance to win it. And then a big play by junior guard Ashley Burchett puts the Eagles back in the advantage. The score is still tied at 60, but it's now Kennedy ball with 11.8 seconds to play. We'll see what kind of defense the Wildcats come out in. Amundsen, Syme, Swanson, Steer, and Luwagi is the lineup for Waconia. Burchett, Singleton-Buchanan, Samara Buchanan, Macy Miller, and Maya Green for the Eagles. Ball goes to Burchett. 10 seconds to play. Luwagi on her. Burchett drives all the way to the rim. Misses it short. Rebound. Rebound goes to Waconia, and a timeout by Coach Neibauer with 3.7 seconds to play. I got to tell you, for a moment there, I thought they might call a travel on Waconia as two of the Wildcats had the ball at the same time. But Coach Neibauer is granted the key timeout with 3.7 seconds. His Wildcats will have to go the length of the floor. Of course, unless the Eagles happen to commit a foul, which you never know. When there's a long pass and somebody aggressively goes for that long pass, sometimes you see some strange things. Kennedy has a sub coming into the game. That's number 12, Tania Kimbrough. She has not played a single second of this game, but she must be coming in as a defensive specialist with 3.7 seconds to play. Tania Kimbrough getting her first action at crunch time. Both teams have one timeout remaining. Just 3.7 seconds on the clock. We'll see what both coaches have drawn up, both of them scribbling frantically on their whiteboards. What a terrific Metro West matchup we've had tonight between the Kennedy Eagles and the Waconia Wildcats. Leads back and forth. It's only appropriate that it comes down here to the final seconds as the score is tied 60-60. That new sub into the game, Tania Kimbrough, is right on the ball, trying to distract Syme from the pass. Steer gets it. 2 seconds, 1 second from half court. Oh, and it misses off the back of the rim, and we're heading to overtime. What a shot. Just a little bit strong, and this place would have erupted had that gone in, but we get some bonus basketball. 4 more minutes of action when we come back here on Prep Spotlight TV.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Good look at some of the Waconia fans having fun as we're heading to overtime. You folks pay good money for these games, and you're going to get your money's worth tonight. Not only have we had an exciting game, but you're going to get a little extra free basketball. Macy Miller just went to the table to check in for the Eagles. If that's the only playing time Tania Kimbrough gets tonight, she did a good job of on-the-ball defense and helped slow down that Wildcat attack. It seems like if Steer was able to advance the ball another dribble or two, she might have nailed that three-pointer. It was a heck of a shot from the half-court line as it was. Steer and Singleton-Buchanan in the center jump circle. Singleton-Buchanan appeared lost for the evening with just a minute left in regulation, and she has bounced back, and I'm sure she's hurting, but she's come out here to battle for her Eagles. Steer wins the tip. Swanson gets it. She's got to be careful not to step across that half-court line. She's trapped right at the half-court line, looking at the official for a foul, but he'll let him play on as Steer gives a little fake, kicks it out to Syme. Syme finds Amundsen on the backside for a layup. The layup is no good, but Kenzie Amundsen is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left here in overtime. And we are tied at 60. The Kennedy fans, probably about 30 or 40 fans made the 35-mile drive to Waconia. They helped distract Amundsen on that first free throw. Second free throw no good as well. And it's going to be off Swanson. And Bloomington Kennedy ball with 3:43 to play here in this tie game in overtime. Kennedy looking to improve on their 8-2 record. Waconia hoping to stay above 500. They're 5-4. Burchett brings the ball up deliberately. Step back three. No good. Amundsen with the rebound. Syme surveys the floor, gives it to Cravens. Cravens back to Syme. Good post up by Steer. She goes up strong. She is fouled and almost got the bucket to drop. That's a foul on Singleton-Buchanan, one of the only two seniors for the Eagles. Their other senior out with an injury tonight, Naraya Dismukes. So a lot of youth on the floor for the Kennedy Eagles. Best free throw shooter on the team, Ava Steer, knocks down the first one. As we've said, an 89% free throw shooter coming into the game. Makes the margin 2 with the second shot. Waconia back on top with 3 minutes and 14 seconds here in overtime. Burchett calling for a ball screen. Instead, hands off to Green. Green goes down the lane, goes hard at Amundsen. The ref signals that she was straight up. Steer gets the rebound, throws it ahead to Swanson. Swanson under the basket. And she's fouled. Swanson put on the brakes in transition there, and Burchett ran into her as she was going up to shoot. So Swanson will go to the line for 2. The dynamic duo of Swanson and Steer coming up big here early in overtime. They've scored all 3 of the Wildcat points. Swanson will try to make it 4, and she does. Burchett brings the ball up with just under 3 minutes to play here. The Wildcats get 4 free throws to start the overtime. Green goes to the rim. No good. Big rebound by Amundsen. Syme advances the ball. Gives it to Steer. Steer in the corner over to Cravens. Finds Swanson in the paint. Swanson up strong, and she's got it. That's a 6-0 run for the Wildcats in the first 90 seconds of overtime. We talked about depth being an issue. We saw Kennedy very winded about halfway through the second half. It could be that here in this overtime, the Eagles are simply out of gas. And Coach Johnson takes a timeout, which will give him a chance to refuel a bit. But the Wildcats have asserted themselves in the first 2 minutes of the overtime, and it's 66-60, Waconia.
Otten Brothers Garden Center is located in beautiful Long Lake, Minnesota. Visit our 12-acre garden and landscape supply center to enjoy one of the largest selections of plant material, landscaping supplies, gardening tools, gifts, birding supplies, pottery, and more in the Midwest. Experience festive holiday shopping in our indoor Christmas tree and fresh greens display. Otten Brothers has everything you need for the holidays. You can enjoy shopping in our all-season, all-weather greenhouse and store all year round.
Waconia has scored all 6 points of the overtime. And they're in the driver's seat now with 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the extra period. Kennedy will have the ball underneath. Burchett will trigger it in. Double screen there for Maya Green. She cuts hard to the basket. Instead, the ball's thrown out. Swanson steals it away. Gets it to Syme. Right now, the clock is Waconia's friend. They will be in no hurry to shoot the ball at this point as Cravens gets the ball out top. Both teams in the double bonus. Waconia has 2 timeouts. Kennedy has 1. Inside of 2 minutes now. Amundsen gets it into Steer. Steer going for the dagger. Oh, she misses it, but gets her own rebound. Up and good. Waconia up 8 with 1:40 to play. Stick-to-itiveness by Ava Steer. She misses the first shot, gets her own rebound, and puts up the big putback. Burchett with a runner in the lane, gets it to go, keeping Kennedy on life support. 68-62 with 1:25 remaining. Syme Over to Steer. Again, the Wildcats content to pass the ball around. Kennedy forced into a man-to-man defense here. They can't afford to sit in the zone and let the clock melt away. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining as the Wildcats lead by 6. Syme picks up her dribble, gives it to Steer. That's not the player that Kennedy wants to foul, but they do have to foul nonetheless. And with 54.5 seconds, senior Ava Steer will step to the stripe.
That is her 5th personal foul. Number 2, Williams in the game for the Eagles.
If I'm not mistaken, Steer and Swanson have scored every point for Waconia in this overtime. The 2 senior leaders. They've been on varsity since 9th grade. Steer makes the first. There is no substitute for experience. Steer's been in this pressure situation before, and she makes the second one look easy. Extends the lead back to 8 as the clock resumes with 50 seconds to play. Burchett drives the lane. She's fouled. She'll get 2 shots. But the layup attempt does not go. Shrewd strategy by the Eagles, though. They've got to attack the rim, try and draw some fouls and get some points with the clock stopped as they're trailing by 8. 49.2 seconds remaining. With a win, the Wildcats would move to 2-2 in the Metro West, and Kennedy would drop to 2-2. Burchett gets the second, cutting the lead to 7. Kennedy comes with some full court pressure. Steer dribbles it across. Always a tough place to pick up your dribble there, just inside the half-court line, but she gets rid of it to Swanson, and Swanson is fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 with 40 seconds remaining. Swanson's first free throw is nothing but net. Second shot is good as well. The lead is now 9 for the Wildcats. Only 40 seconds remain. The Eagles roll the ball in. Burchett waits till the last moment to pick it up because, of course, the clock does not start until she touches the ball. Her step-back jumper is no good. Cravens with the rebound. She tries to give it to Amundsen as she's going down. And the ball goes out of bounds, and they signal it is to Waconia with 31.4 remaining and a 9-point lead. Kenzie Amundsen catches the inbounds back to Syme. We'll see if the Eagles continue to try to foul here. Steer and Swanson with all 12 points here in the overtime as we're down to 15 seconds to play, and it appears the Eagles will allow time to expire. And in fact, the official just waves it off as their clock continues to run. That's a win. Waconia evens their Metro West record at 2-2 and moves to 6-4 on the season. Kennedy falls to 8-3. The Waconia Wildcats prevail in overtime, 72-63. Thanks for joining us tonight on Prep Spotlight TV.